Hi and welcome again to the Sensorica Lab. My name is TB. I'm a Sensorica affiliate. I'm making a short video to present the latest project of our community, the Access COVID project, and just to keep you updated with the progress, and also to make a call for collaboration, a call for participation, since this is an open and collaborative project run by the Sensorica Open Value Network. There's a link below in this video that leads you to the webpage of the project where you can know more about it. You can learn why we do it and how we do it, and you can also learn how to join and contribute to this project. I made a video in the past. The previous video was about the hardware component of the system. I'm going to show it to you here. We're not going to go revisit that because nothing much or nothing important changed when it comes to hardware. But we're going to focus on the software part. We're going to focus on the app, the mobile application that is associated with this particular device. So if you haven't followed Sensorica for a while and you have no clue about this project, let's go and take a look at the website. That is the project page on the Sensorica website. You can pause the video and read the description right here, which it's pretty good telling what the project is about, right? And then you can go through and learn what we do, how we do it, and how to participate. But in a few words, the project is about bringing together government, commerce, and people like you and I. All right. So for e-commerce, imagine you stand in front of a shop and you see this thing on the door. This is the hardware part of the system. All right. And its main function in the beginning is to signal to people that pass by that this shop has taken a pledge, has committed to put in place measures to keep you safe. And these measures, they come from public institutions. They come from institutions that deal with public health. So these are the measures that the government recommends to different types of businesses to put in place in order to be able to operate in as safe as possible way. And these places have acknowledged that, have put in place these measures, and have made a pledge to stick by these measures and keep you safe. So that is the first use of this thing that you can see by driving by or by walking by the store. The advantage for the shop is to be able to signal that they are taking these measures very seriously, and that they can actually, you can trust them that they're going to keep you safe. So for them, it's a way to signal to the population that they're a safe place, right? It's a sort of a reputation symbol that is public out there, broadcasting this information, being in the physical space. At the same time, this physical device that is put on the doors or near the door, you can actually watch the video here. But these devices, if I go to the R&D document, development document, prototyping and design, it has a bulb inside, so you can light different colors. So as you're standing by the door of this particular shop, if it's red, you can't go in, so it controls the flow in and out of the store. If it's green, you can go in. If it's yellow, the store is probably in special service mode for people with special needs. Anyway, I'm just suggesting a way to use light to signal the state of the store at this particular time. If the store has too many people inside, it cannot respect the 2 meters distance among their customers, then this light can turn red. It could turn green if it's safe to just walk in straight. If it's red, you can have a line. If it's green, you can just walk in straight, right? So it is made also to signal signal to people when to come in and out. And for a shop, a small shop, it avoids the need to have somebody staying at the door, like we see when we go to Metro or IGA or other supermarkets. They always have one or two people outside that take care of the crowd that go in, right? Well, small shops, they can't hire extra people just to stay in front of the shop and manage the crowd. So it would help them to guide traffic in and out, and people would respect that. So that's the second use of this badge. So it is a badge of trust, and also uses light to signal when people can walk in and out, and perhaps some other things. Now you notice on this picture here, there's a QR code in the middle. It is not represented in the prototype, but the graphic will be stuck around, and in the middle, the QR code represents the identity of this particular shop. So the badge has been given to this particular shop because they have made a request and they have made that pledge to keep safe, all right? And in order to go further with the explanation of how the system works, we have to take a look at the app. This is what you would see on your mobile phone. So as you look at the QR code, as you're standing in front of the shop and looking at the QR code, you probably want to know more about this particular shop. So if you click on the symbol here, you'll be able to scan that QR code that is on top of the symbol, and it leads you directly, as you scan it, leads you directly to Mom's shop, which is the store that you're standing in front of. And here you can see some data about how well the shop is doing to keep you safe in terms of satisfaction of people that have interacted with this particular store, and the trust that they have that the management keeps their promises, and keeps these measures that they have put in place, considers them very seriously. Now, this is just an indication of what kind of data we can display on these particular shops' profile on the app. It is just an example of what can be done, right? So what can you do once you look at the store's profile and have a sense of satisfaction and trust, or something else? Well, you can rate this particular shop. Suppose you go inside and you have some interaction with the business inside, and then suppose that the government has given the businesses a certain number of steps to take, to implement, in order to keep us safe. Well, you can actually go ahead and look at all these items one by one and tell everybody else if they have done this or that. Okay, and you can also make a comment. This builds up the reputation of Mom's shop in terms of how well they're doing compared to their pledge for the measures put in place by public health institutions. So once you fill up this feedback, you can send it, and your data adds up to the statistics here that displays the profile, the trust profile, or the satisfaction profile of this particular store. You can also find similar businesses around, right? Similar to Mom's shop. And you can see if some of them are closed or open, or maybe in a different state, maybe providing special services to people with more special needs. So once you find that store, you can go to its profile. So from this front page, you can also share the app, adjust your notification bell, and also like a commerce or a particular like a commerce or a store or whatever you're interacting with. And obviously you can sign up for the app. So this is what the app is doing. And if we go back to this particular shop, let's talk a little bit about what the government can get out of this COVID system, Access COVID system. Well, the government wants to know if the measures that they put in place, against which the people rate this particular place, if these measures have been well implemented by this particular store. So the government is making categories of different types of commerce, service providers, businesses, and every one of them will have a specific type of measures that they have to put in place, list of measures that they have to put in place. Sometimes the government goes too far because the government cannot understand everybody's business. Sometimes the measures that they put in place turn out to be very harsh, very hard to follow, and even impossible for a little restaurant, a little store out there, for a massage place or a gym or whatever. So not everybody has the possibility to go to a certain extent to keep us safe and still run the business. So the government can actually use the public feedback, use the reporting, the rating of people for all these businesses and their categories to see how well they react to these measures, how well these measures are put in place, and how satisfied people are with whatever these businesses provide them as safe service, right? So this is a way for the government to see if their measures are well implemented, as rated by people against these measures, and figure out a way to mitigate between opening the economy and keeping people safe, right? So that's another component which is very important. Help our public institutions, our public officials, or public health authorities to find out the best compromise between regulations and the economy, to put in place measures that actually businesses can keep up with. They're happy to keep up with because nobody wants to put their customers in danger. So here's the app. This is just a little example of what we can do with this data. And now let's go back to the website and talk a little bit more about what you can do to get involved. And take a look at, for example, our communication and coordination tools right here. You can get in touch with us. We're in Discord. You can contact Sensoricans on our open forum, or you can gain access to our main mailing list if you ask to become a member or to join this project. Join the project just by clicking the Join the Project button right here. It's very simple and straightforward. Then you can see a little bit of the planning. Everything we do is transparent, right, and collaborative and open. So you can see how we're planning this project. You can see the latest notes, our most important needs at this particular time. You can see all the documentation. Again, everything we do will be published as an open source, and all the documentation is released under Creative Commons. And also you can learn more about the incentives. Please stop the video and read these. You can get acquainted with the governance of this particular initiative, read the memorandum of understanding, and this is pretty interesting. You can see actually how contributions go into making this project a reality in almost real time. To join the project, again, just click this button and you will be driven to a form. Put your skills, name and email address so we can go back to you, acknowledge the memorandum of understanding, and submit your application. It's as simple as that. Somebody will contact you, and by looking at what we're doing in context, you can actually understand where you can get involved and join our team. This is a fast-paced project. We have to make sure that we're right on time. Here in Quebec, in the province of Quebec, Montreal and the rest, we will start opening the economy starting next week. So it is very important to get this out. It is very important to get the support of local authorities, of the municipal government, and of provincial government. We're getting ready with a short 2 or 3 minutes video to publish on social media and use it as a elevator pitch for this project, and we will contact our local government to gain the support that this project needs. And it is an open and collaborative project. Anybody, including organizations, commerce that have an interest, can participate. Government officials can join the project as well. It is a collaborative project. It's not a project brought to you by the private sector. There is no profit to be made here. It will come out as a non-for-profit organization. It is a project that comes out straight from the crowd, from what we call the fourth sector, and so it is not a private project and it's not a government project. So nobody has to fear that this data it's going to go to making money or to actually control you. It's a project by the people, for the people, that is begging for the participation of public institutions and commerce. Thank you very much and hope to see you soon. Please ring our bell, somebody will answer and help you join the Access COVID initiative.